So finally, after years of waiting, we have a real legitimate look from Nintendo of the Nintendo Switch 2. And of course, the internet is going to rip apart every little detail of everything they see in this 2-minute trailer, and that's basically what I'm gonna do in this video as well. But I see a lot of people talking about certain things to deal with the Switch 2 that are gonna be problems, that are gonna be weak points, and I kind of disagree with some of them. We're gonna talk about those, and I think there is a real weak point. I may be completely off here. So we're gonna take a deep dive into this trailer. I'm gonna show you things you may have missed, and some things Nintendo may have secretly answered without saying a word. What's up, guys? Welcome back, and welcome in for the first time. Do me a favor, jump down in the description of this video. There's a link down there to our Discord. We are gonna start community game nights again. We're gonna be playing the Switch 2 all together. At least once a month, we'll be doing it in there. I might even live stream it, who knows? But if you wanna get involved in that, make sure you join the Discord. There's also a room in there if you need to join a Nintendo Switch family plan. If you wanna save some money, we've got a room in there to do that too. On your way back up, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, because a lot of people think they are, and they're not. All right, the first thing we've obviously gotta talk about, gotta get out of the way. This is probably the worst kept secret in the industry at this point. We've known exactly what this thing was as far as the looks, at least the looks go. We know that for sure. The other rumors now, the other leaks, I mean, I'm starting to believe those as well, because every single thing that we saw in this trailer, we've already seen somewhere online. We've seen the logo, the kickstand, the Joy-Cons, the way the Joy-Cons attached, down to the color. We've seen it all, and it was basically 100% accurate. But now that we know, I have been staying away from the rumors. I haven't talked about a lot of this stuff, but now that we know there is another USB-C port on the top of this thing, I think that might be the coolest thing. Not only will Nintendo probably use this for who knows what weird thing they're gonna make, whatever game needs to plug into the top of the Switch, maybe a camera, who knows? I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but it gives you another place to charge your Switch, so when you're sitting down and it's, you know, charging, it's not like hitting you in the stomach. That was really uncomfortable. I really hated that about playing the Switch when it was plugged in. This should make that not a problem. And again, we talked about in a previous video when we were looking at some of the accessories that Genki has made a case for this thing right here. This is their SSD. The case that they made for the Switch has a little circular thing on the back where this would magnetize too. So I don't know. Clearly Genki knows something about this. If they know that this thing is maybe compatible with an SSD like this, an external SSD, that would be absolutely fantastic. So we do have a port for it, and you can still charge. So not really something that's not hard to spot, but there is one thing as we get into this trailer. I'm gonna put it up on screen so you guys can see, but as they show us the Joy-Con, the little orange part comes out, and you can see there's a little slot there, and that is gonna be where this thing actually connects to the system itself. Now, the little connectors that are actually on the Switch do stick out, and everyone keeps saying this is gonna be the point where the Switch breaks. This is gonna be the weak point. This is gonna be that spot, like the Joy-Con rails last time, sliding out or breaking, that this is gonna be that point, and I don't know if I agree with that, and for this reason. If you watch, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit through all this, but if you watch, every time they put a Joy-Con in, and if you look at the very bottom of the Joy-Con, there's a little slot on the very bottom of the Joy-Con that I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like that bottom piece is gonna have to go in first. Every single time they put a Joy-Con on the side of this thing, you can see the bottom goes in first, and every time it's coming off, it comes off at an angle, top first. The button is up there to push it off the top first. I think this thing's gonna lock in from the bottom, so by the time it gets to that connector, it's already gonna be straight. It's gonna have nowhere else to go. It's not even gonna be able to get into that area because of that thing on the bottom blocking it. I don't think this is gonna be the weak point. I think they figured this out. That's why it detaches from the top, not just straight off. You've got to put the bottom in first, and then it's guided in right where it needs to go, and probably attaches at the top with magnets, whatever it is. So maybe it is only one magnet on each side. It may be that bottom hook that hooks those Joy-Cons in, and then the top part is the magnet, and that's what you're kind of releasing when you hit the buttons on the back. I think that makes sense. I thought it was gonna be a magnet on top and bottom, but this would make a lot more sense, and it would make sure that the Joy-Cons go on right every single time, not at an angle. So that would save that. Something else that I noticed when they first turned the old Joy-Cons into the new Joy-Cons, and I guess they are a little bit different, but the design on the top really worries me. These sticks look exactly the same as the old Switch. They look identical. Now, I know it's hard to really see what's going on because it's just a photo. It's just a render on a screen. We don't know what they look like in person as far as size. It's still kind of hard to get a grasp of the size of this thing, even side by side when you see them switch into the other. The sticks do look a little bit bigger, I think, but they look like the old ones. I really would hope at this point, as far into this as we are, that Nintendo is not going to make this mistake again. We have seen some of the leaks, some of the rumors that say it has Hall effect sticks, which would be great. And at this point, I'm starting to believe a lot more of those just because we have seen so many of these right here in this trailer. We've seen so many of them be 100% accurate. So if we are getting Hall effect sticks, that's great. But these look like the same sticks. It looks like they have a different cover on top. That's what the colored piece is underneath, but they look the same. So that worries me. We're gonna have to wait and find out about that one. But I really hope they've learned from what they did last time and all the problems they had. Now, this next part of the trailer, I didn't even notice it being so blatant when we watched it, when we reacted to it. These Joy-Cons are going to function as a mouse. It's very clear. I know there's a lot of people still saying like, oh, well, maybe they're kind of, like, that is exactly what they're doing there. There's absolutely no reason you would have an optic sensor on the side of these things and them rolling across the table in that manner, and they look like a mouse. They look like they're running around like they're two mice. This, I think, in my opinion, this 100% confirms that these things are going to be used as a mouse. So all I'm saying now is we need Mario Paint 2. We need a new Mario Paint, please. That would be amazing. This is going to help in a lot of other things too. People who build levels in Mario Maker, there's going to be a lot of applications for just this alone in so many games, and it's going to open the door for a lot of games that use mouse and keyboard to come to the Switch too, which is also a great thing. But anybody saying at this point that maybe not, that's exactly what this is. Even what used to be our little Joy-Con straps that slid onto the rails, those are now a flat surface to put these things. Well, I talked about this on the podcast. I was joking about it, like, oh no, it's gonna come with stuff to make it a mouse. It really is coming with stuff to make it a mouse. We were talking about it on the podcast the other night. I think it was last week, but they actually do come with something that goes on the Joy-Con to make them into a mouse. I'm wondering if there's some kind of like soft pad or some plasticky piece that's you know, kind of like a mouse that's gonna make that work really well. I still don't. You have to be in front of a table to make this work. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many games are actually going to use this, but I think we can 100% say that the mouse feature is confirmed. I don't think there's any question. I don't see how there's any question after that. All right, there's a few things as we get a little deeper here. Obviously, we're seeing a new Mario Kart game. I was not 100% sure if this was a new Mario game or if this was just something that I hadn't seen in a booster course pack or something. This is new. There's several reasons you can obviously tell at this point it's new. One, I spotted this shot of Rosalina on a snowmobile. It's definitely a snowmobile. It's got tracks on the back. It's got two little skis on the front. Obviously, this is a brand new course. I again, thought this might have been a booster pack course or something like that. It's not. This is a brand new course. But this game looks like it's going to be way bigger. I've seen some stuff online already, people saying that this Mario Kart might allow 24 people to play at once. It looks like there's a lot more spots in the starting grid, so that would be crazy. That's a lot of people playing at one time. If the button, we'll get into that too, if the button is some type of chat or group chat, whatever it is, that's going to be really cool to be able to do that with everybody while you're playing Mario Kart. Anything, it's just going to be nice. You know, they should have done this 10 years ago, but whatever. It's fine. We're going to get it now, but they did cover up that C button. The one we know that's clearly there after we've seen all these leaks. It's a C button. There were some people online talking about that being the chat button. So that's going to be voice chat, group chat, whatever it's going to be. That's where that's going to happen. I tend to believe a lot of these leaks now that we're seeing so much of this come right, but they did take the C completely off of it in the trailer, which is interesting. It's probably because they want to wait and explain it to us, and they don't want people talking about it, getting their hopes up for something else, and then it not being that. So I can understand taking it off for this trailer. But back to the Mario Kart thing, Donkey Kong looks very strange. You got to redesign it. Kind of looks like the movie Donkey Kong, but not really. It's very weird. It's a weird redesign. I don't know. We'll have to see more about that. I'm excited though. I'm guessing this is probably going to be, I mean, if not a launch game, it's probably going to be year one. So we're going to get a new Mario Kart this year in 2025. That is amazing. I'm really happy about that. But another thing that stood out to me in the way that this Switch looks is if you look very close, and you can see it here on this shot where it's actually going on to the Joy-Con grip. They do have a little bit of space between the grip, and this happens on the side of the Switch too, but they do have a little bit of space where the Joy-Con kind of just floats off of it like a millimeter. So you can see through and kind of see that orange or that blue, which I said in my initial reaction I didn't really like, but honestly, even just going throughout the day here, it's kind of growing on me. I kind of like it. It is a weird choice though to have it sit off of there just that tiny little bit, but I guess that would be cool if they're gonna do, you know, different Joy-Con colors. You would be able to have a shell that's a color and then also have the highlight right there. I mean, that's a cool idea. Other companies could put LEDs in there and make, you know, the little piece that goes inside the Switch clear, so then it would glow inside there. If that's just an idea, that would be very, very fun, very cool to see. That's just a little observation I had. Now, we did get more confirmation about Switch 2 and Switch games working. You can play Switch 1 games on Switch 2. We did get the digital physical question answered, kind of. We still have some games that won't work, but digital games are going to carry over. So all your digital stuff from Switch 1, you're going to be good. Most of it, they have a disclaimer there. I'm sure it's going to be just weird stuff like Labo, other things like that. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think there's going to be some weird compatibility issue with a bunch of games. I would say it's probably just going to be select few things that take certain peripherals that just aren't going to work with the Switch 2. They just don't fit. Maybe ring fit, something like that. We'll probably get a new one, maybe a new ring, and then it'll work after that. We'll have to see what they do. But the next thing that they said here is that we are getting a Direct, a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd. That is a long ways away. That's a long ways away. So we're gonna have months and months and months of not a lot about this system. We might get some details here and there. They may just throw us a bone, like they have been, like telling us, it's backwards compatible, or we're gonna announce it before this time. We may get some more of those little things along the way, but I don't think we're gonna get much. There are rumors already popping up today. These, I don't know how credible they are, but it's interesting to talk about, and it would make sense that there's gonna be a February Direct for Switch 1 games, which would be good, because if we're not seeing this console like really shown until April, it's probably not going to be coming out until July, August. I mean, they may do it the next month. I don't know. This seems now more like they're going to be ramping up for next holiday. I think we're going to be waiting a while till we actually get one of these in our hands. So as excited as we are about this, I wouldn't be throwing away your Nintendo Switches just yet. You might want to hold on to those for a while. And of course, we're going to keep doing videos on the Switch and all the accessories that the Switch has and everything happening with the Switch 2 here. We're just gonna keep things rolling. I got a lot of stuff here that I still need to do videos on for the Switch 1. I've got my Switch Lite OLED screen replacement thing coming. If I ever get that in the mail, we'll have to see what happens with that. This stuff's just now starting to ramp back up. So if this is the first time you've been here, you're interested in the Switch 2, whatever the case may be, stick around. We're gonna have some fun, but that's gonna do it for this one, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed. We'll see you in the next one.